because that was what covered me. That was what, made everybody to start talking and start touching me and start investigating and start putting their eyes in where it does not belong to. So like, so basically what I'm trying to say here is that um there are things I would do differently, or that I've been doing differently now that I have my second pregnancy, that I did not do in the first one. So, firstly, the way the first one went was like, really, let me know, guys, if you want to hear about my first pregnancy, the story of my first pregnancy. Give this video a thumbs up, comment down below if you want to hear a story time of my first pregnancy. So yeah, that one was a huge blow to the face, but it did actually taught me a lot of things. So we're going to go straight to the eyeshadow now, and that's why I know, not know, but that's how I know how I can manage this one this time, because yeah. So firstly, what I'm doing differently from this pregnancy and the first one, is that this one I am, just to prevent anything, I am, firstly, it's already mentally prepared me for anything. But all other things is that I'm going to stay at home and labor as long as possible. Really. Because the last time no one told me, and they were literally, oh yeah, the water is leaking, that's fine, come straight to the hospital. And they started touching, and things start going wrong after that. So that was really annoying to me. Like, I could have actually prevented, or maybe, you never know, but I could have prevented a lot of things from happening if I hadn't gone straight to the hospital when my water was just leaking. I had no contractions at all. Like, I mean, there was no contractions, nothing. It was just tightening. And to me, now that I know a little bit, I think that was Braxton eggs. So that wasn't really contractions. Because when they were monitoring it in the hospital, they were like, oh, your contractions are coming in regularly. Are you not feeling pain? And I was like, no, I'm not. But they should know, I don't know who those people are in the hospital, they should know that, okay, this lady is not having proper contractions because she's not feeling the pain. They should have just sent me back home, and say, because when they checked in the beginning, the first pregnancy, I was just like 1.5, 2 meters dilated at that point. So what's the point of staying, keeping me there? I know, because they said my water has started leaking, but even if your water starts leaking, as long as it's not like the huge gush, you don't really need to go to the hospital at that point. You can still stay, because even when you go to the hospital, because what I remember was that I was still in the hospital for another 2 days. So if I had stayed at home, I know there's also a reason to monitor the baby, but monitoring the baby sometimes also causes issues. So what I've decided to do this time is to stay at home and labor as long as I can. That is just it. Like, just stay at home, and I know what my body is telling me. I know when to go to the hospital, and I know when not to. So thank God for experience. Yeah. So I don't want to go into the hospital too early, because they will start touching you, and then your body doesn't really like all of that thing. Just stay at home. I want to feel the contraction pains this time. That's just it. Also, secondly, if you agree with whatever I'm saying, please comment down below, let me know. And if you disagree, I want to know, and let me know why, because I'm also learning too as I go through this pregnancy. So another thing is to drink water. I also did this, drink a lot of fluid. I also did this in my first pregnancy, which I think helped me a lot. So I'm going to keep doing it. So that's why I'm putting it in this list too, because it helped me. You know, I drank a lot of water, and it just helped me stay hydrated, which is really, really good, because I've noticed that if I don't drink enough water, I get dizzy. So that means that I don't have enough liquid in me, enough fluid, you know, to keep me going. So yeah, that is it. Drink a lot of water. That's one thing that I am going to do, that I've been doing. I mean, I'm almost at the end of it. I have just 2 weeks left in my pregnancy now, so I'm going to keep drinking a lot of fluid, and yeah, so that should help. Well, that has been helping me a lot stay. There's some days that I actually forget to drink enough water, which is really bad, and I feel it during this time. So yeah, I feel it when I don't drink enough water. So I would advise myself and whoever wants to know this, drinking a lot of water does help you, you know, stay focused, reduces the all fatigue that you feel during pregnancy. So if you have a lot of water, so that has helped me, and I'm going to continue doing that this time also. And again, what happened during that pregnancy was while I was in labor in my first pregnancy, I was wearing this dress. I'm probably going to put it on the screen, and if not, please don't worry. I was wearing a dress that has a sleeve that was like up to there, that 3/4 sleeve, yeah. So I was wearing that, and it got to a point where I couldn't take it off, because they had to roll it up to put all the, you know, all the injections, all the thing to monitor the baby and stuff like that there. So I had to roll it up. It got to a point where it was so tight here, that dress was so tight here, and my hands started getting so swollen. Like, it was, that really freaked me out, because I was like, oh my god, what's wrong with me? You know, I started feeling all of that. I was like, oh my god, this is too much. But anyways, so this time around, even if I'm wearing something long sleeve, anything I'm wearing, trouser or something, I'm going to change immediately. I get to the hospital, and they've already confirmed that I'm in labor. I'm going to go into the labor ward. Immediately that happens, I'm literally going to change into a dress that I already have in my hospital bag. So watch out for my hospital bag video, which is coming up soon. So it's going to be in that. So I'm going to be changing into that dress, because it's short sleeve. I'll advise anyone going into labor, don't wear anything long sleeve, because you just want your hands free for those injections, those IV drips, whatever thing they're going to be putting in your hands. So you want them free, really. That is one thing that I would advise, just leave them free. So if you want a short sleeve, depending on the weather, but I think it's going to be warm in the labor room anyways, so either going to be a short sleeve or something like that. Yeah, that's really enough. Like, just leave your hands free, just in case, and wear a dress. It's just that simple. It's either if you can do that before you leave to the hospital, do it, but I'll advise you do it when you get to the hospital and they actually confirm that you're in labor, and then you want to, because they might send you back home anyway, so why don't you change it at home? So that is that. And yeah, this thing is drying up. I need to be fast. What else? Yeah, so that is that. And after giving birth, I'm going to make sure that I change into my silky dress. That's after, before coming back home. After that, I have to change. There's another dress that I'm wearing after the bath that I'm going to. It's easier to breastfeed, but because this is the one I've got and I don't want to spend too much money on hospital stuff, I decided to wear the same thing. But if I had my way, you know, I would not use a button type of because what I have, the breastfeeding nursing gown that I have, has like a button thing from here to the side, so you can just open the button and you breastfeed. I would advise you use something else, maybe something with a zip or something that comes up and then it makes different. Anything with buttons was just really annoying me at a point, because those buttons did not stay longer, so they were just there. I will show you the dress later, so maybe I should do that now, but we'll see. I'll probably let you know, show you while I'm doing the hospital bag video. But yeah, so if you can do, you know, those nursing dresses or nursing gown that you can open and then you have it, so it's always like a dress, it stops here and then you can open and breastfeed, that will be good. Or if it has a zip, that will be good. But anything with buttons, long sleeve, you know, kimono or jacket, anything like that, it's just too much stress. Don't do it, really. So just do the. I'm really bad at doing my makeup and explaining things at the same time. It's so bad. I'm done with myself. So yeah, I am going to show you guys what I mean. Hopefully when I'm doing my hospital bag, because I'll just, to save a lot of stress, because it was really annoying because that button keeps coming up and then your boobs is just out. So I'm like, what's the point? Ow, this baby is pushing too much. So I'm like, what's the point of wearing this if it's not even staying? So that was quite annoying, and I was going through all of that while trying to encourage the baby to latch. So yeah, so that was a problem I had with my nursing gown in the hospital. So I will be changing to that nursing gown, the same one again, but now I know how annoying it is, but I can get over it. So yeah, I'm going to be changing into that, and I'm also going to be wearing my silk nightwear because it's just so soft. Really, it relaxes me, and this will be after, you know, we've flashed and there's baby milk coming in, baby is drinking milk, or you know, but this, I want to change into that silk nightwear before going home, just to feel at home in the hospital. This is for my mental thing, but you know, I just want to wear that silk nightwear. It has a button in the middle, so you can actually open and still breastfeed, but just to have that comfort in the hospital, it's just, it's really silk, it's really soft. So I did not do this in my previous pregnancy, so that's why I'm doing it now. So yeah, what else? I have the notes in front of me, so in case you see me look. And I'm also going to be having a playlist this time. So a playlist of songs that so in the previous video I stopped where I was talking about relaxing, listening to relaxing videos, music, because in my previous pregnancy I was not really into that. Like, I was just listening to random Christian music, but this time I want to be intentional with the music I listen to. It has to be music that relaxes me, music that are, you know, like make me happy. So that is, I'm going to be selecting like 50 of them or 100 if possible, if I can, if I have that time too, that will be good. So I can at least listen to music that I actually want to listen to, that relaxes me, even if I have to stop it at some point. So that's one thing that I really want to make sure. The other thing that I talked about was not to read too deep into maternity labor process, early signs of labor, because that was what caught at me. That was what made everybody to start talking and start touching me and start investigating and start putting their eyes in where it does not belong to. So the first one, that was what happened, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to relax, because even right now the pressure that I'm feeling down is so heavy. It's a lot that I could literally feel the pressure of the baby moving so low. And this time I was literally, telling the midwife everything, doing all of that. Of course, it's good for you to tell your midwife everything. Please make sure you do, because that's how they know if anything's going wrong. They cannot know, they're not witches, they're not wizards, okay? So they need to know that what is going on with you, and the only way they will know is by you telling them. So, because there's some tests that is not necessary unless you actually tell them something is wrong. That's when they will test it. So of course, please do make sure your midwife is aware of all of these things. But for me, all of this, because right now I've also started feeling like tightening. I've started feeling like I need to get closer to this, because I don't want you guys to later say I could not hear you when you were talking about these things. So I started feeling like tightening, and I would say those were Braxton aches. Because last time I was calling them contraction, but they're not. I actually started feeling actual contraction now in this second pregnancy, but they're just mild, and it comes like every night, well, before I'm going to bed, when I'm relaxing. So it does happen there, which I feel a lot. So it's different. So I will not read into all of those signs yet, because they're all early pregnancy, early labor signs, and I wouldn't worry myself. I would just like to relax, because now that I know what I know, it might actually go like that for the next 2-3 weeks. That's the worst part of it. Like, my back aches like crazy. My back aches like mad. My hips are like, they're like saying goodbye to each other. Bye bye, just like Reno will do. They're like, I can literally feel them. So yes, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to relax. The only thing that will make me say 100% is when there is like a whole gush of water coming out, or I also, at least it will start from my mucus plug, me losing my mucus plug, bloody show. Those are the two things that maybe 1 week, it is closed. But if not, I'm just going to assume like it's not going to happen for at least the next 2-3 weeks, no matter how much pressure I'm feeling. And also it will be, of course, contractions. So my midwife said if it is between if I'm getting 2 contractions every 10 minutes, and it will be between 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes apart, that will be good, really. And 10 seconds in between, 10 seconds long, which I will start tracking. And now that I know how real contraction feels like, which is like a proper period cramp, which I know how it feels like, but during Reno's time it wasn't that. No, it wasn't like that. It was like tightening. So I know that wasn't it then. And okay, I also wrote down preparing myself mentally. This was a huge thing for me during Reno's pregnancy. All what I was praying for, all what I was looking forward to during Reno's pregnancy was the labor pain. Really, the labor pain was all I was afraid of. It was all I was preparing for. If you see me doing exercise, you see me doing all of this, is because I was afraid of labor pain. Like, I see people with, And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm dying, I'm gonna die. You know, like I cannot tolerate pain. But yeah, that was all. So anything that happens after that, I was not ready for it mentally. I literally went into postpartum depression after that. If you want me to talk more about it, please leave a comment down below and give this video a thumbs up. I will talk about my postpartum depression and all of that story, and I'll probably put in my delivery story too, because that one is another thing that you need to know. So yeah, I mean, anything after the birth, like even from the hospital, even at the hospital, I was not mentally prepared for it. So it all like hit me really hard, like baby lashing, the milk came in and my boobs were like stones, and they were like that. I was like, oh my god, what is this? You know, when that was happening, I was shaking when my milk was coming in, and it was around the midnight, and I was literally like, something is wrong, because my husband was not allowed to come in. I knew something was wrong with my body. I felt it. I was like, oh my god, am I dying? Is this how I'm gonna die? Like the baby was right next to me in my hospital bed, and I was like, oh my god, this is how I'm gonna die. Did something go wrong during the surgery? You know, so it was just a lot. Like I had a lot of, it was just too much for me to handle, and my boobs were like that, and all of those things were like, oh my god, nobody prepared me for this. I did not know about that one. So yeah, and then, you know, him being tested here and there, the prick, the thing they do, and you know, sleepless nights, which I think I should be prepared for, but it wasn't my priority while I was pregnant. It was labor pain that I was preparing myself for. Breastfeeding, we had a problem with latching. I had to start pumping. I felt like I was just a cow, really, because I was not feeling that connection with my own child. So that really made me go into deep depression, and there were some days I couldn't even recall. I couldn't remember what happened those days, because I would literally have him in my hands and I would be crying because I was like, oh my god, what have I done? You know, so we had tongue tie issues. There's just a lot that happened, and after the birth that I was not mentally prepared for. So this time around, your girl is ready. Well, I'm not ready, please, but at least I have an idea of what to expect, and not to expect too much, not to plan too much. Just leave it open, pray that everything goes well, and trust that the child will be okay. God gave you this child and He's going to keep it. It's just that simple. Don't stress yourself, because the baby needs you. So please just calm down. And yeah, I also put down, like, you know, having myself ready to take care of 2 children, so that doesn't also hit me at once, because now I'm going to have 2 kids, 2 children, like literally depending on me to survive. So I need to mentally prepare myself for that, even though I'm not physically or even financially ready. But I know that it's just being mentally ready that is the main thing for me now, because I cannot control everything. I just know that everything will be fine. So me trying to hold on to stuff, if it doesn't go well, all hell breaks loose, then I just say, oh, what is this happening to me? Oh my god, I'm suffering. You know, all of those things. No, you're not suffering, sis. I mean, you're not the only one that gave birth, so you will survive it. So that is just one thing that I'm taking away from my first pregnancy that is helping me in my second pregnancy. And also all of this workouts that I was doing then, you know, exercise, bouncing ball, doing squats, all of those things that I was doing in my previous pregnancy. My sister, phew, I am not even going to try doing that again. I am done. This pregnancy, and again, the thing is that during that pregnancy, I was not working from 6 months. So 6 months onward, I stopped working, and it was not even as bad as it is now, because this one was totally different. All of my pregnancy, anyways, I'm always sick throughout. No, there's no first trimester, there's no second. They're all the same, but the first trimester is always worse, of course. But the second one, girls get better, but I'm always nauseous. I'm always sick during, or I just did nauseousness reduces towards the end of the second trimester. It reduces, but I still cannot hit some food. I still cannot do some things. So yeah, all of those exercise, bouncing ball, squatting. I'm not going to kill myself. I did not do any of that. I did not do this time around at all. I just sat down, and I was working anyway, so I worked from home most of the time that I was pregnant, but I was also going to the office sometimes, maybe once a week. But it got to a point where I wasn't even going at all to the office. I was working from home most of the time because of COVID too. So when this Omicron variant came in, I stayed home more just to. But eventually I got the COVID anyway. So yeah. So I'm not going to be doing all of that. This time I'm just trusting my body to do what it's meant to do. That is just what I'm doing. Like, I'm just trusting my body to do what it's meant to do, not stress it, and just, but I'm taking walks, taking Reno to the park, and just doing some of those few things. And Reno also started swimming classes, so I've done that just once anyway. So we've just been to a swimming class once, so that's just it. And also, I am going to be doing no interventions, no inspection, all of those things. Because the first time when Reno's pregnancy, I was literally like calling my midwife every 5 minutes. Like, if I hear any ping, I will call her, or I'll call the triage, and all of those things. So, I kind of like encourage them to always look into everything. So during the end, around 39 weeks of Reno's pregnancy, I went in for an appointment, and the lady actually checked me to see how far I've dilated, which actually I think started the whole water leaking thing, because I don't know why I needed to check if I'm dilating or not at that point, because contractions will tell you if you're dilating or not. So I don't think I want to do that this time. I just want to let it go. Like, when contractions start, when labor start, I will know. Don't touch me. Nobody should touch me this time, because that one, immediately she did that. I think it was a sweep that she did, which is also a form of intervention. It probably made the water start leaking, and I'd rather have my contraction start first before my water break, because then it reduces the infection rate or something. So yeah, that's one thing. Less to no interventions at all this time around. So yeah, so this time we're going to register the baby's name early, because last time with Reno we waited until I was okay, because I think I wanted to be the one to go, or maybe Gianluca was busy with work or something. Because if I had gone, that means we waited for like 2-3 months to register Reno's name. And again, COVID, and there was a lot of backlogs. So it was hard for us to get an appointment in, and the passports took a long while. We almost missed our flight because we wanted to go to Italy then. But I don't think so. I think we eventually got the passport, and it was good. But it took like 6 months in general, like getting his name registered, getting Reno's name registered in the borough that he was born at, and also started his passport processing, which really took us a long time. So this time around, 1 week after Gianluca's job is to make sure that baby's name is registered. Then we can start his passport process immediately. So at least everything should take us within 3 to 4 months to finalize. So that's what I'm doing right now in this pregnancy, and that's it. And lastly, it would be to be patient. Like, sister, be calming down. Like, just calm down. Nobody's rushing you. You're not going anywhere. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the time you have with this new beautiful life you've brought into this world. And be patient with yourself. Just calm down. That's just what I'm going to say. It will be fine. The baby is not going to die. Even if they're like, Reno had a lot of, like, it was breathing in a weird manner, in a weird way, and I would always feel like, sometimes I don't even sleep because I'm literally just watching him like that, because I'm afraid he's going to take his last breath. I know that is so extreme, but that is the stress that we new moms put ourselves in. The baby will be fine. That's one thing that I know. The baby will be fine. As long as you've gone to the hospital, they've checked the baby, you've reported to the midwife, just, put everything in God's hands and let him know that you trust him, and that's it. Don't stress about it. Let it go. And talking about patience is also my breastfeeding issue that I had in the beginning with Reno, because I couldn't have that connection with him because he couldn't lash properly, and so I had to start pumping, and that was because I was not patient enough. I was not consistent with the method I was using. So if I had continuously keep trying, it would have eventually been able to lash properly, but I wasn't patient enough. I wasn't consistent enough. I just went straight for pumping, and that was it. And then I started using nipple shield sometimes because it was so used to the rubbery feeling of the bottle, and that actually makes me remember I am only going to be filling it with syringe from the beginning if you cannot lash. I mean, syringe and a cup or spoon. Nothing with the teeth thing or that rubbery mouth stuff. No, because that was what spoiled everything for us. Because it was not lashing. The nurse, you will see it in our labor video. Like, the nurse literally just came in, put the colostrum in the bottle, and gave it to my husband to start feeding a newborn baby that has not even lashed yet. So that really made him, used to the teeth, the rubbery bottle feeding thing. So I am not going to let that happen this time. We're just going to go straight to making sure it lashes to the boobs and it sucks directly from the boobs. That is just what my main goal is this time, and I will keep trying until we successfully lash properly. That is what, because I want to feel that connection with my child this time around. I really want to, because that was what started the whole depression thing, because I felt like I wasn't connected by birth and I wasn't also connected by breastfeeding. So it really took a lot of mental thing from me. So yeah, we're not going to be using anything. If I see that tiny bottle, I'm going to fling it away. I don't even want to see it at all. So I'm only going to be using the syringe or a cup to feed the baby. As long as the baby is eating, that's all. I don't want those bottles, no. Until we're able to lash properly. So take care of yourself. Make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe, please. That really, really does encourage me. And that's why I'm making these videos again, because I've heard people talk to me and they were like, oh, Victoria, you need to start uploading. So make sure you comment down below. Don't just watch this video. Comment down below. Subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up, because it will help people to find me, and it will also encourage me to do more videos. So yeah, let me know also what other videos you want to see. Comment down below, by the way, and you can always follow me on Instagram. And if you want to support my hair company, it's also on my Instagram, which I'll also be putting in the description box. Thank you so much, guys, and bye.